Boy, if it weren't for bad luck, I would have none. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. So every year, before I get into the news, every year on Columbus Day weekend, my family goes up to Mount Wachusett over in Princeton, Massachusetts, and we take the ski lift up, see the trees, the changing foliage, spend some quality time with the kids that they'll remember growing up, and if it's a clear day, you can see Boston and Mount Monadnock up in New Hampshire and stuff like that. Last year was on that day that we were up there, my father crashed and subsequently lost his life in a motorcycle crash. Today, while we were up there, they lost power in the ride. We were suspended about 40 feet in the air for about an hour and a half before they finally got the thing limping again to get us off. And we found out that another friend who was just like a brother to me was in a motorcycle accident as well. Leo, we love you. I'm so glad that you're okay. And if you need anything, you know how to get a hold of me. And I've told you this on the phone, but I'm going to tell you this here because I know you're going to watch it. So, ladies and gentlemen, say a prayer for Leo if you could. All right, let's get into what's going on in Montana. I got some notes on my phone. Montana, when you think of Montana, you think beautiful place, very pro-gun, very gun-friendly. However, there's, go figure, a movement to go after guns there, so I figured I'd tell it to everybody. There is a referendum on the ballot for Election Day, November 3rd, and it's called LR 130. It's Legislative Referendum 130. And this referendum, excuse me, my back's junk today. What the referendum is looking to do is to restrict the ability of towns and cities of implementing their own restrictions on firearms. You've seen that become the cat's ass for the Democrats and the anti-gunners ever since Bloomberg's money flipped Virginia, and Montana is looking to do the same. Now, for those who vote in Montana, I'm going to tell you, if you're not aware of it, a simple yes vote supports this measure to remove local government's authority to regulate the carrying of permitted concealed weapons. This is for concealed weapons, I forgot to say that. And a no vote opposes this measure to remove local government's authority to regulate the carrying of permitted concealed weapons, thus allowing local governments to continue to regulate permitted concealed weapons within their jurisdictions. So, if this were to get shot down, then you name whatever city you're in as you drive through and reach another boundary for another town, and if that town had a different rule or ordinance for how you can conceal carry or what you can, you would have to either stop and make yourself legal before entering there, or you risk the same tangled web of laws that exist from state to state, right? You would be theoretically breaking the law. This stuff has to stop. It absolutely has to stop. So that is LR 130. You want to vote yes on that. You want to limit the government's ability to tell you what you can conceal carry in each particular municipality. Now, some of you are probably saying, how did it get there? How did Montana get to where this has to be on the ballot? Well, back in 2016, the city of Missoula implemented their own universal background check system. And that was fought through the court system, that was overturned last year by the Montana State Supreme Court. And once that happened, a bill was drafted, and it made its way through both chambers and all the way to the governor's desk. And that bill looked to do the same thing this referendum does, is to stop or to restrict the power of local governments, local municipalities, to restrict the Second Amendment. The catch here is that the governor of Montana, whose name is Steve Bullock, he vetoed it. And what he wrote at the time when he vetoed that bill was this: Montana law already prohibits cities and towns from adopting regulations that restrict the right to keep and bear arms. But Montana, like other American jurisdictions throughout our country's history and the English jurisdictions that preceded them, has long allowed these same cities and towns to adopt regulations around concealed weapons and the presence of weapons in certain public places. Though the distinction between the right to bear arms and the desire to conceal them remains in the Constitution, HB 325, the bill that he vetoed, would strike it from Montana's local government statutes. and there would have been no harm, no foul doing that. The bill would also prevent local governments from adopting regulations around weapons in parks and schools. Bizarrely, the bill even bars local governments from regulations that would facilitate existing prohibitions on gun ownership by convicted felons and the mentally ill. Now, what I'd like to do is to preserve people's right to keep and bear arms. Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing, Governor. But that didn't satisfy the Republican-led legislature, and that brings us to where we are today with LR 130 on the ballot. The state referendum is going to be there on November 3rd when you go to the polls. Please vote in person, everybody. Even if you're not in Montana, vote in person, please. The future of our country absolutely depends on it. Just a little catcher-upper here. What a day. What a day. Glad to have my feet on the ground today. Please pass this along, because even though you don't live in Montana, by you passing it along, it drastically increases the possibility that somebody in Montana might see this video. If you want to help support the channel, please look down below. There's links to my Patreon and to PayPal. Also, if you want to check out some shirts, head over to my Spreadshirt or my Teespring store. Those links are down below as well. And I got a lot of cool looks at this shirt today. I'll give John and the boys a shout out. Check out Warrior Poet Society Network. I joined. You should too. John, Evan, and crew are doing a hell of a job over there. I'll have a link down below if you want to join there as well. Our time here on YouTube is very limited, I think, especially if JoJo wins. We can't let that happen. All right, guys and gals, till we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, stay off of ski lifts, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.